now it's time for Connor McQueen's segment. I keep wanting to say the lightning round, but I don't know if he'll allow it yet. But Connor McQueen is back with us, our special guest throughout the year, and I shouldn't say guest either, though.
Was this number 4 for him? He should have a name for this segment.
Yeah, we got to name this thing.
You got nothing else going on. You come up with it. This is the important
I'll
stuff.
start brainstorming.
Now, what do you mean nothing else going on? He's got UCLA tomorrow, and I think he's considering some music, a cappella tryouts.
I don't know about that.
Campus-wide email just went out, didn't it?
That's for the freshman quarterbacks. I think they may have a cappella tryout in their future. We'll see.
Tanner, you think he's got some singing skills here?
No, absolutely.
0?
No, 0.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to try out the freshmen in that area.
Yeah, see, Connor's not the guest. He's the regular. His guest today is Tanner Schorp, his teammate, and two guys here that kind of had similar paths and started as walk-ons, rewarded with scholarships. Tanner, we know, was awarded that this week. We'll talk to him about that in just a bit. But, I've in the massive research we do for the Connor McQueen segment, I've come up with this. You've brought Trevor Knight, Boone Niederhofer, and now Tanner Schorp. That's San Antonio Reagan High, San Antonio Churchill High, and now San Antonio Reagan High.
Oh,
once more, you're hitting the Alamo City pretty hard here on the
digging deep.
And I tell you, who would appreciate that is my wife. She went to both those high schools.
That is true.
Churchill to start, and then when Reagan opened, she moved over there. So she's probably tuned in pretty close. So, yeah, Connor's hitting that Alamo City pretty well. But Tanner, good to have you. And just how excited are you to kick this thing off against the Bruins tomorrow?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited tomorrow. For tomorrow's game. Everybody's been practicing, and we're kind of tired of hitting each other, and we're ready to go out on the Kyle Field and face the Bruins.
You guys have done this for a while, obviously. You've been with the program for a while, so you've had the season opener, the excitement, but one thing you haven't had a whole lot of is season opener at home at Kyle Field. The last two have been away from Kyle. How much fun is that going to be, Connor, to all the hard work you guys have put in the offseason, starting right after the bowl game? You now get to take the field for the first time at home in front of 100,000 people.
I'm excited because, the home opener is always special because, all the fans are coming in, but especially with it being the season opener as well and it being such a hyped game that we've been looking forward to all throughout the offseason and everything, and the hype continues to grow and to build throughout the week and then come into game day. That I think the atmosphere here in College Station this weekend is going to be unprecedented, just in that there's going to be so many people that have been looking forward to this game that are going to be in town, not necessarily even if they're at the game, just tailgating outside. There's going to be tons of people in the city, and just the excitement. You can feel the excitement just walking around campus and everything, to where I think everyone's very, very excited that the week's finally here.
We'll find out if 102,000 sounds similar to 50. You guys don't have to comment on that, don't worry. But we mentioned it. One of the good reasons to bring Tanner here today is recently awarded a scholarship. You came as a walk-on just like Connor. Connor went through that in that auditorium to hear your name called as you are now on scholarship. Let me kind of start with the beginning with both of you. Tanner, your decision to come to A&M, what was the prevailing factor in saying, I'm going to walk on at A&M? And were there maybe other options that you turned down to do this? And what were your chances coming out of high school?
I had smaller school offers in high school. Some places in San Antonio, like you said, Incarnate Word and other places like that. But I grew up in Aggie. My dad played here. My mom went here. A lot of my aunts and uncles went here. And so when I got the opportunity to be a preferred walk-on, we sat down as a family and talked about it, and I just jumped on it, and I think it's really worked out, obviously.
Yeah, you mentioned your dad played here, Greg. He didn't just play here. Those were some football teams back in the early 90s.
Yes, sir.
They did not lose hardly at all.
No, I hear about that all the time, trust me, about the good old days.
Yeah. But, he played with your strength coach, Larry Jackson.
Yes, sir.
For a while. So, yeah.
On that note, I wanted to ask you, too, about this, Tanner. We could talk about with Connor as well. Coach, someone talked about you guys getting these scholarships in the press conference on Tuesday. And I think, for fans, maybe some of them go, oh, that's cool, they're on scholarship, that's great. But he talked about the sacrifices that you all have to make, paying your own way through. And he said, hey, you look at the summer. These guys are here working all summer because the scholarship guys are here all summer. They're paying their own way through summer school as well. your emotions when, maybe you had an inkling of it that it was going to happen or you thought you might be in that group, but to hear your name actually called out and now all that hard work is paying off for you. How much did that mean to you?
It was huge. It was one of the biggest moments of my life. Just all that hard work and, like you said, everything just paying off. It was just a big sigh of relief and joy, being able to work for something and be rewarded was awesome, especially in front of all of our teammates and just kind of showing guys, that you can work for something.
And, Will, the other thing that Coach pointed out was you watch their reaction, but the thing he likes is watching everyone else's on the team's reaction to those guys getting it, how happy they are for them.
Yeah, and Connor, what was your reaction?
I was caught. I was very caught off guard in that. It really is cool because you spend so many hours upon hours throughout the years with all these guys and just all the hard work that you put in everything. And, that's one of the great things about Texas A&M is because of the 12th man and everything and the 12th man kickoff team. The walk-on culture has been so great. I'm not exactly sure how it is at other places, but I know here it is so great to where, everyone's so inclusive and you're not necessarily an outsider or anything like that, but I think being put on scholarship kind of gives you that added level of acceptance to where you feel like, wow, I'm finally here, I've made it, to where, this is kind of what guys like Tanner and I have been striving towards. Definitely our whole lives, but definitely the 3 or 4 years that we worked towards being put on scholarship to where I think that moment kind of, it's a very surreal moment to where it kind of hits you like, wow, that, we're not having to pay for school anymore. Everything's taken care of.
Exactly. And you touched on it right there with your answer, but I did want to kind of ask both of you, is there a different feel to being a walk-on at this school, considering the past at what's happened here at Texas A&M?
I think so, just because of the 12th man, like Connor said, and everything. I don't know. You can add to that.
Actually, one of my current roommate right now, Travis Arthur, his dad was on one of the first 12th man kickoff teams, to where whenever they put that in, I think that was when Coach Sherrill was here.
Yeah.
He was on one of the inaugural teams.
Is his dad Tom?
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's a part of an honorary captain thing going on later this year that he'll be in it because they're honoring that kickoff team.
Right. Yeah. So that's pretty cool just to see where that started and how it's come to fruition and then when Sam, who was also roommates with Travis for a while, doing so well the last couple of years and breaking the all-time game records, wearing number 12 for this university, to where it is such a privilege to get to wear that number and really what it represents for this university. And then again, all the students standing up for the entire game, just it goes a lot further than just being a walk-on the football team and then getting put on scholarship. It really is kind of what, not necessarily just the football program, but what this university is all about.
Mm-hmm. Almost wonder, you go back to 1922, can you imagine what it was like to have a coach say, come on down out of the stands head over here with the
Didn't have that NCAA rule book over his head back then.
I don't care what kind of football experience you guys have. You would never see that coming if you were
no.
Like, wait, what?
One day.
I'm sure that
okay.
there'd be a line of about 50,000 now, though.
No doubt.
That's pretty cool.
No doubt. Connor McQueen, Tanner Schorp with us this edition of Studio 12. Tomorrow it's the Aggies and the Bruins. The game as we look forward to it. You guys have been in film rooms. You guys work special teams and on the offense as well. What does film show you about the Bruins defensively? Because if you just look at paper and preseason type things, it seems like more of their returnees are on that side of the ball than offensively.
Yeah, I think they're a pretty experienced group. Mm-hmm. A lot of returners, like you said, and a lot of speed, especially in the secondary. And a lot of real experienced guys up front with their defensive tackle number 47 and their two ends who are coming back, and we really look forward to playing them.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you reference a number. Their names don't matter.
Right.
All you got to know is who's wearing that jersey. That's the guy I got to get right there.
That's right. Is that part of it, Connor? Do you guys really play a faceless opponent? Does it matter if it's UCLA or Prairie View? You're trying to execute and do the
right,
same
and
thing.
I think that's one of the things that coaches really try to stress throughout the week, and just kind of the things that we do. I mean, each Monday we'll get our scouting report, and we'll have their whole starting roster, and it'll just be circles with their numbers on it, to where, I mean, it's almost a dehumanizing factor, because when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter for us who the opponent is, because we want to try to do the exact same thing each and every week. We want to approach each game the exact same way, whether it's, if it's a non-conference opponent or a conference opponent. You don't want to go into a game with different expectations. You want to be the best that you can be and continue to get better in each and every week, to where, I mean, I guess to say a person's name. It doesn't really concern us in that fact, in terms of game planning and preparing for each week.
I mean, nobody on offense is running over to Priest Willis and picking his brain. He's a former Bruin, transferred over here.
I mean, then again, half of I wouldn't say half, but a large majority of our offensive staff that have come here this year was at UCLA for 4 to 5 years. So there is a little bit of added knowledge, to where we've gotten some insight on each of their players and what their tendencies are and things like that, because of the familiarity. Okay.
That's a hard word.
Yeah.
We don't do all big words like that.
You didn't have to go
show.
back because you got it right the first time.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, just with some of our coaches, with some of those guys, because they did recruit them and things like that, to where they know some of those guys pretty well.
Tanner, one of the topics we've talked with Connor about is the difference and the excitement about the offense this year in 2016. Your excitement as you've watched this work through practice, watch it, I wouldn't say evolve, but watch it be installed, and now to actually get it out on the field on Saturday. How much fun is that going to be?
It's going to be awesome. I didn't really get the past offensive experience because I transitioned over from defense right before the bowl game last year.
Good move.
But
come see us.
Yeah.
But
welcome.
Just, I mean, from what I know, Coach Mazzoni and his staff, I mean, they know what they're talking about, and we're really excited to go out there and execute his plan.
Is that something you enjoy as well? A topic we've discussed with Connor is the process, the mental side of it, to sort of like, we're doing this, why are we doing this? And then for you to know why and then watch it execute. Is that kind of fun for you as well?
It is cool, yeah, just going through the days of practice and getting better every day, and working on the little things, and then seeing it in film and it, paying off or something good happening. And knowing that you're getting better mentally, in the film room, and then physically running through plays.
I think that's one thing that's helped him out a whole lot, just coming from the defensive side of the ball and being a defensive end, and now coming over to tight end, is that he is so familiar, and I mean a lot more familiar than some of the other guys, with defensive fronts and how defensive linemen are, what they're trained and what they're thinking when it comes to twists and stunts and how they're going to approach and take on blocks. So I think that's really helped him out quite a bit, transitioning over to tight end, because if you know how a defensive end, especially tight ends, are blocking those guys a whole lot, blocking linebackers, if he knows how those guys are going to try to take on blocks and how to get around blocks and where to fit, that's going to help him out quite a bit when it comes to blocking those fellas.
And me and Coach Price, we joke around a little bit, because my first couple years I was playing under, Day and Miles and guys like that. And so I was running scout team, basically running tight end. So it was real easy to go over to the offense and play tight end. So it's worked out.
So the most important thing about this move, Will, do you get invited back to the D-line cookouts, or are you now a band and you're not allowed back over there? Because that, to me, would make it a very difficult decision.
I think after the spring and fall and us going against each other and inside and different drills, I don't think I've been invited back to the D-line.
Some love has been lost. Some love has been lost.
It's a D-line cookout. Now they kind of do it with the whole defense. Connor, have y'all ever crashed one of these things?
Oh no. We can't.
We need to, though.
You can't wear a black jersey to those things. So, we're fair game then. So.
There you go.
You'll end up in a pool or somewhere you don't belong, a tree.
An empty plate for sure.
Don't worry. We have our own offensive cookout.
There you go. There you go.
We're all right. I think Coach Mazzoni gets those catered, though.
That's true. Yeah.
Hopefully he's not listening to
this. Tanner, about your quarterback this year, Connor sees Trevor Knight day in and day out, but as somebody at a different position, but is on offense.
Mm-hmm.
What has Trevor brought to this group since his arrival? I think it was in January he got here from Oklahoma.
Yeah, so me and Trevor, like you said, we went to high school together, and when he was thinking about leaving Oklahoma, he called me and asked me about the situation down here, and I was, yeah, it's an awesome time. I love A&M and stuff, and one day he just called me and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about coming to A&M." So I actually had an extra room at the time, so he's now my roommate.
There you go.
And
okay, so you do see him, Dave.
Yeah. So now he's my roommate and our quarterback, and I got switched over to offense, like we've been talking about, and it's been awesome. But I mean, just the leadership that he brings to this team, I mean, is outstanding. When he first got here, everybody was kind of like trying to feel him out, and he just went to work. I mean, every sprint, every workout that we had, just trying to show everybody, trying to earn everybody's trust. And I think he did a great job of that, and now everybody's following along, and it's been awesome having him here.
Yeah. Well, it's great stuff, fellas. Thank you so much for the time, and, man, we're all looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Should be a lot of fun.
Ready to get going.
Absolutely.